Good Friday today, not a lot to do, a lot of spare time on your hands. Let's use it wisely and go over these selections at Randwick, where it's a very competitive day of racing in the championships there. No doubt there's going to be some big price winners. I 100% believe that. And there will be some good favourites win. We just have to know when to be on and when to be off. Let's start in the first race. Win ahead is with the favourite, number 3, the next episode. What we love about this horse here, it's got some good fluctuations. When it ran in the Golden Gift pre-Christmas in a good race, it was around the $5.50 mark, pulled up with some excuses, and then it was a hot favourite in that midweek where it ran quicker time than A-Arm overall time and came home quicker as well. So that's really good sign. So we think it's got the wood on A-Arm. Next episode's had a trial in between, I believe. And it also beat Under Focus, who came out and was a really big winner next start. And we think Under Focus is a danger. I like I said, they went pretty quick last start. The next episode had a sit on it, peeled off its back and won. And we think Under Focus, that run, even though it looked like next episode beat it easily, I thought Under Focus was a little bit of a sitting duck. We have tipped Under Focus for second, not for the win. Other than the preparations, different. Under Focus still under the one preparation, and we just think next episode's having a better prep, is better set up for this. But we think we really like Under Focus as well, and I think that's a huge price at the $9. And sticking with those form lines still, Will, that was good flux as well. We've got James McDonald in the saddle. It was a bit green first up, being a little bit keen, and I expected to take a lot of benefit out of that run. So they're my top 3. Next episode to beat Under Focus and Steel Will. Blue Door right in the market here because of that trial. I'm leaving it out because of that trial. So I was a really big trial. It was 11 days ago. It's not that long ago. It was quite big what they asked it to do. I might leave it a little bit on the track there. It could run a bit flat. It's drawn wide. It's only had the one trial. Heard the stable say it had a big gallop, strong gallop on Tuesday. I get the feeling they're a little bit behind with the horse, and they asked for a big hit out on the trial, and they've given it. I don't know. I just think this horse might leave it a bit on the track, and like I said, drawn wide, might have to do a little work again, and it's got to beat these horses with really good prep. So leaving Blue Door out here. Okay, race 2, Randwick. I'm not going to pretend I've got a lot of confidence here, but I do have number 3, Soverado, on top. It's out of a French stallion. It's bred to stay. It's 4th up. It's Waller McDonald. Comes out of probably the best form line, 60s. So definitely got it on top. I thought number 5, Burn the Sky, was the best run coming out of that Group 3. I know I can see Feminino here. A lot of people tipping it. I thought Burn the Sky was the best run. Spy Zoo Star, which turned me off it. And then I just looked at the run. I came back to it. It looks like on its run it'll appreciate the 2,000 metres. So forget the breeding there. And then Profoundly is a horse that I've had an eye on in Queensland. I think it's got a lot of talent. This is another one, not really bred for the 2000s by Farnham, but again, just like I said, it's a horse I've been sort of following, and it was a huge run last start, and looks like it should get the 2000. Not as confident as what I am with Burn the Skies getting the 2000. So can't see why the price difference between Feminino and Burn the Sky. We've got Zach Burton and Barrier 6. I think that's really, really good value, Burn the Sky. Again, 4th up. Looks well placed at the price. Classic Gem, I don't know if that's going to run here or in Melbourne. If it does run here, I just think second up, against these horses 2,000 metres. I'd rather be with the others, but I really like this horse and I really like that first up run. So give it a chance. And, Spicy Lou's got to give weight. I wouldn't read Queen of Clubs out of it altogether. That's about it, but that's my top three. Look, gotta have Soverado on top. I got Burn the Sky in second place for the value, and Profoundly as our third pick. Again, race 3, I'm not going to say I got a lot of confidence. Again, I'm here with the favourite. I've told you there's going to be a lot of upsets. I'm tipping in the first 3 favourites. So, look, number 5, Juja Kibo. I thought it was a really strong pace last start, and I thought it was a really strong effort on the pace. Going through his form, he always goes better the further he goes in his preparation. His form from last prep was really classy. What he finished doing is running the Metropolitan, etc. So, number 5, Juja Kibo I'm with. I thought New Look. I thought it was a pretty good run. International second prep, Busselton. I thought that would be, is a good value runner. And I really reckon you got to watch this C.O. Lynn having his first start here down with 53 kilos. Real stayer, down in the weight. Big watch on it. Watch it in the market. Don't let it under your guard. I thought those two will run good at a price. Tarraman saw his, barrier 1 doesn't help, but it's in great form. And Travolta was a good run last start. Just don't know. I think the others got the wood on it. Campadino really got a lot of time of it. I think if the track's a lot firmer, it will go a lot better. It had, I don't know, it's struggling giving the 59. Got to give 4 kilos to Juja Kibo. I think it's too much. I think Juja Kibo will improve. But if it's on a firmer track, that 59 is not going to feel as heavy. So I give it some slight chance. But Jujo Kibo on top, and I'd have New Look and C.O. Len. Don't let them under your guard at a price. But clearly Jujo Kibo on top. But this race, these staying races, I don't go in with a lot of confidence. Randwick race 4. Here we really are cooking up a storm here. I think there's huge value here. I do rate Rivellino and Providence. I think Providence, I don't know, I think it should have just gone into the race. I know it was hard on the pace and on a fast pace and gave it up, but just would have liked to see it last to the 100 metre. I thought it gave it up a little bit easily. Rivellino, I think, is really hitting the line well. And on ratings, these two can win. But Rivellino, the 59 and the barrier, it makes me look at others. And I'm really with this midweek form with Crossbow, Monopolistic and Kilman. And I really like Baron Gary's on top. Baron Gary, you got to get out that last win. Had to be seen to be believed. It was against the older horses. It was over the 7 furlongs, the 1,400 steps up to the mile now. It was wide the whole way last start. And at the top of the straight, it was a bit down, ducked in. And boy, it looked gone. It got out, got going, and won with ease on the line and ran away from them. So I know Strong White again, but that win, if you watch a lot of replays, had to be seen to be believed. And I think, these are all 3-year-olds on the way up, and they're just going with the ratings with Providence and Rivellino, and they're saying, well, these are the coming from the gun 3-year-old form lines. But a lot of horse up and coming here. So there's great value here with Baron Gary. And I really thought Kilman. I thought Kilman is, forget all its runs from the prep before. It's been gilded. I thought these 2 fourths were really good. And I particularly this last one. I took the 61. It's blown out to 67. So I just think people with McAvoy, Waller, they're thinking McDonald's. I don't know. I'm not a McAvoy fan, and they definitely put him on when they just want to take care of a horse and have a good experience. But I mean, Waller now is getting to the pointy end of set races, and he's got more than one chance, and that's with Crossbow as well. I thought Crossbow was a really, really good performance and monopolistic too. But I've heard the stable talk. This is not the race they want, and from that barrier they're going to go back. So although I give it a chance, I don't like that for the win. I thought these three here, Wester Swindon, Mateus, Aerodrome, I don't give them Buckley's, and they're under $11. Aerodrome beat some horses in Canberra, and they all of them ran in this crossbow race, and none of them performed well. So I don't like that form line. I think Wester Swindon's not going well, and Mateus will want further. So it's a race I'm keen to play in because of the value with, Crossbow, Kilman, and Barangary. All right, let's just jump back up on the market side. So we're really against the market that last race. But here in Randwick race 5 with the market, I think the class is obvious here. We've got Considered on top at 390 from Vermicello, that's actually not bad value. It's our second pick at 650. And then with the market, Chidiac, we love its class. I'm not sure about over the 1400 though, so it's favourite. And you have to give Fingers Hunter a big chance. What I love about Considered, I mean, it's had a few runs, and you almost say it's done too much, but it is a mare in form. Look at this, 9 starts, 6 wins, by So You Think. This is hard to do, what she's done. She's had the 2 runs over 1400, and Coffs Harbour's a heavy 10. And then this is not a bad Queensland. Margaret Steele's got a fair bit of potential. This is a pretty good Brisbane race. And within 3 weeks from a heavy 10, drops back to the 1200, soft 7, okay, so a bit more give. But one impressively, it's not easy to do, and it's going to jump back up to the 1400. I like it. So I really think this 1200 metre run, what it was able to do, and just jumping back to the 7 furlongs, it's going to excel. I mean, only good horses can sort of do what she's done with this here. So I really like Considered, barrier 4, Nashua Wheeler. And Vermicello too. I like the way this has been trained and handled. By Piero. This is a good breeding for country championships. We've got So You Think, Piero. These horses, they're no slouches, mate. Again, good strike rate, 14 starts, 6 wins. And why I say I love it, the way it's been trained. This is a mile horse. This wants the mile. So they know that. Joe Cleary combining with Jay McDonald. I like what he's done. 1 month between runs with a little tick over trial, 900 metres, not 1,000 even, 900 metre trick. Keep the sprint in its legs. It was a big win. Let's go to the win. It was a huge win, stuck in traffic, sprinted well. And if it can replicate that, it will be very hard to beat tomorrow. And what they've done in its training, Joe's given it every chance to replicate that. So Chidiac, I'll give a chance. Like I said, I don't know about the 7 furlongs for it, but very, very classy animal. Fingers Hunter's in great form. Wish it wasn't drawn as wide. Got to give it a chance for those form lines. Bon Holler giving some outside chance, and Baby Ryan, if it wasn't drawn out wide, I mean, it ran second to Considered and beat the rest. Very lightly raced. Have a small cracker on Baby Ryan. But sticking with the market there, we've Considered and Vermicello on top. Randwick race 6. What are we doing here, guys? Again, a lot of good value. I'm with number 2, Tornado Valley at the $15. This horse done nothing wrong. Look at its form. Look at its consistency. Third at Caulfield in a listed, and wins a Group 3 down the straight on a soft 6. That was a good 4. Take it to Queensland. Won second to this Ziploc. Got a lot of potential. Second in the Magic Millions. Then I just love the way it's been trained here. It's on the way up. One trial. This is a nice one at Randwick here. It was a bit dour. They took him behind runners. A real typical sort of first up run. Ready to peak next start. They took it behind the runners. Was dour down the straight. And I just love its last 50, 100 and after the line. We didn't have much room. Again, they know how to train here. Just a nice little tick over trial. And I just think barrier 1, I know you don't want to be right on the inside, but I'm sure Zach will either go forward and get to the middle of the track, or he'll be able to push out and get out. Tornado Valley, for me, a horse on the way up. From Streisand. Oh, gee. Streisand. What a surprise she is. I mean, look, I was going to pot this horse altogether because just 2 peak runs, but it is a step back in class. And just this last run, I agree with Clinton McDonald. Like, what it was able to do, that last 100, 200 metres on a high pressure race, it's just drawn beautifully. It looks like it wants the 1400. The stables told us it's, she's looking fantastic. So, I don't know. 2 peak runs, that's why I put her on top. Look, normally I'd pot a horse like this. There's some feeling I'm getting saying this horse got another run in it. And if it does, watch out. It'll probably be too good for him. Streisand for second place. For third, I've got number 10, Am I Dreaming? 50 to 1. Guys, well, the last time we had a horse like this was in the championships. The horse was Spicy Lou. It was a 2-year-old, ran against open class in a class 1. They backed it from $20 into $6 and it won. I think it was over the mile. Spicy Lou. Let me tell you, for a 2-year-old to beat 4-year-old and 5-year-old geldings is a really big deal. I love the style of the win. It showed me it wants extra distance. It was a fast run race. What this horse was able to do, it's got T. Berry. Mate, I think this horse can win. Believe me, I think this horse can win. I took 60s, and some places now got 40s. Some people's got 50s. There's been money for it. Like I said, I think this horse can win. These are sort of upsets. I mean, this is why I think there'll be so many upsets. We've got so many races here we're analysing where there's a lot of horses getting up to this distance the first time, and then we've got a lot of 2-year-old, 3-year-old races. Plus, we've got that country championship, although we're not tipping an upset there. But, guys, these are horses on the way up, and Am I Dreaming is a really big example of a horse that the market and the ratings, they just don't know. They're behind. They're behind. And, yeah, I can't tip strongly enough that this horse could run a very big race at a big price. Campion d'Italia, we tipped it in the slipper. We thought inside draws were the go, but it wasn't. It got out to the middle of the track, and then that's when it stormed home. Had it drawn a little bit out, Campion d'Italia, I think it would have won. We were unlucky not to get that. That was something we tipped to our members at a big price, or I might have tipped to you guys, to just the YouTube subscribers, if you remember clearly. But here, I don't think it's going to be run that well. It's trying to do it on its first campaign. It'll get back again. I give it a chance. And Paradoxium from the outside draw. Look, it beat Tornado Valley. It beat Wolf Gap. It beat done it well. So look, it's going to have to work. Third up, You have to forgive a slipper run. So I don't like where it's drawn, but I have tipped it for fifth placing. You couldn't totally leave it out. All right, race 7. Let's talk ratings here. Got to go on the ratings. These open class horses. See, I don't really focus on ratings when we're talking about the young horses. It's too early to bottle them up with ratings. You put some weight behind it, but there's just so much scope and improvement that the ratings don't carry as much weight. But in a race like this, it does. And look, we're going to stay with Jolly Star on the caveat that it's a soft 5 or better. This is her ratings here. Last prep +4, +3 this prep, and a +2.7. So she's running around +3s. She's done it the prep before. She's got 2 +3, a +3, +3.5. So it's very consistent, isn't it? So we expect her to run a +3. A Randwick, 4 weeks between the runs. McDonald, barrier 5. So drawn perfectly, set up perfect. So we expect her to run, Randwick 1200 loves it. So we expect at least to run a +3. We've got Jimmy Star's our second pick. He's rated bigger. Just coming off that last run, I suppose. We just didn't rate. We haven't even recorded it. But if you look at last prep, the prep before went out on the 19th, the 4th, went out with a +4. And then first up at 1,000 went a +1.5. And then a +4, +3.8, a +4.8 against Carrion Rising, and a +4.1 at Caulfield. So you can just see +4s all across. I think if it's a soft 5 or worse, I have him on top. Ethan Brown back on target, back on, which is going to be a big plus. Drawn one out from Tentyrus. And look, I heard the stable say, I think Kiramar's being a bit dramatic, but to come back with 2 black eyes, mud in his throat. It was on the worst part of the track. That track at Caulfield was putrid on the inside. There sounds like there was a lot of kickback, and that's what Mar's talking about. And a good horse like this, you have to forgive him one run, especially when the stable says that, and especially with those ratings. I believe he's the best horse in the race. So, yeah, should we have Jimmy Star or the other one or Jolly Star on top? I don't know, but a Star will probably win this. Look, I put Tentyrus in for third. Hasn't drawn well barrier 1. Not only has got barrier 1, inside going at Randwick's not where you want to be, but you got Ethan Brown on barrier 2. Tell me he's going to give you a piece. McDonald in 5s. These jockeys, good luck Zara trying to get out. It'll be interesting to watch. Look, Tentyrus, the ratings. All right, +0.5 as a 2-year-old in the diamond. +1.2, we said it's come back better, fantastic. +1.4. Then it elevated. Now, normally they elevated by 2 lengths. We have it elevating by 3, so it's a bit off. In the Coolmo, it went a +4.5, which was probably too big of a jump. But that's the ratings. Everyone had the Coolmo going up high. But it's starting to look like an outlier to me. It's starting to look like an outlier. We had it going +2.5 first up. Great sectionals. Everyone was carrying on about the win. But it beat My Gladiola, who we know is a +2, 2.5, +3 horse. So, and it beat it well. And like My Gladiola ran up to its best, a +2. We couldn't rate it higher. Some people had it rating it really high, but we couldn't rate it higher more than a +2.5. And then it went +1.5, regressed in the Newmarket. Some excuses, so fair enough. So it might go up to a +2.5, +3. Look, guys, with the barrier and the ratings, we got it about a length off these other 2, plus the barrier. We're tipping at third. People getting too carried away. Good horse. It might elevate, jump. It might win. Like, it's definitely a very good horse. but we just got it off the ratings of Jolly Star and Jimmy Star. Briasa, ratings, he can do it. He's good enough. But what we don't like, we got him going first up as a plus 1.3. Last prep, we had him a plus 3. And this, when he beat Jimmy Star, he went a plus 4.6. So we got him, we might elevate 1.5. So we got him going about a plus 3. So we've got to give him a chance. But if first up run tells us maybe he's a little bit more behind, but he's definitely going to elevate. He's definitely going to elevate. So I don't think he's going to do a plus 4.6 what he did first up. We think he's going to do a plus 3. But that's what we're talking with Jolly Star and Jimmy Star, plus 3, plus 4. So he's in the mix. And if it's a good track, overpass, do you remember its run in the Everest against Karting Rising? It was right there all the way. You can run a plus 3 as well. But it's got to be nice and firm on that deck, and we wouldn't totally rule him out. Giga Kick, no. Giga Kick, he runs plus 1.5s, plus 2s. Even when he done a plus 3, and we even our notes say maybe running high should be a plus 2. And we're right. Plus a bench, plus 0.8, minus a half, plus 1.5. This is up to equal to average. The best he can do is plus 1.5, plus 2. And it's clearly well off these other horses. So we don't give Giga Kick a chance here. Although if it does get really wet, Randwick 1200 wet, he can come into it. But on ratings, no, guys. So that's what we got. We've got Jolly Star on top with some hesitation, not having Jimmy Star on top. From Tentyrus, very happy not to tip it on top. Briasa maybe even should be in front of it. And if it's a firm track, Overpass will be there for a long, long way in it. The Doncaster, big handicap, big spread in the weights. We should be spending a lot of time on it, but we're not going to spend a lot of time on it. Not at all. I mean, she's an alibi. Again, let's go to ratings. We had on the 15th of November, over the mile, third up. That's what she's got here. She went a plus 3 here. And then you could see as she resumes with a plus 2.5, almost a plus 3. When they do that, they went out with a plus 3, come back with that PB. It shows they're going to elevate. And then we had it going a plus 5, which is, guys, that's Autumn Glow sort of territory at the moment. Like, I think Autumn Glow is going to keep elevating, but no, excuse me. That's big ratings. And then you could say, was it over the top, the ratings? But that's what we rated it. And then Autumn Boy came out and franked that rating. Maybe it could be even a plus 6-ish rating. He walloped him, a slowly run race. But look at that acceleration he showed. And look, long story short, she's an alibi. Should beat them. Down in the weight. The wide barrier, I don't think, will be a concern. Just get out to the middle of the track. There's going to be some give in that track, so it's going to cut up. And I think Jamie Mellon, just with the good hands, just going to keep her in clear air and just get her to come in the race at the right time down the middle of the track. So she will be very hard to beat at the $2. I love the way these horses are going. Gringotts, Pericles, Headley Grange, they're going awesome. Those three, and if she was in the race, but I think all three will run well. But I really think Pericles is the best of them. I really like that run last start. He loves the Randwick Sydney way of going. He's going awesome, and that last run was huge. It wasn't a good ride by Craig Williams. Had it forward, put it back, went forward. It was a big run. And it's a clear second pick. And I think that's for a place bet, $3.40 is playing better than she's an alibi. So if something goes wrong, I really have Pericles as a clear second pick. Autumn Boy, barrier 1, K McAvoy, dictated 2. I know it's got the blinkers on him, but not good. Not good at all. So I'm very comfortable with this race, having Shizzo Alibi clearly on top. 60's the fair horse, fair enough. But She's an alibi on top with, I think, this is very good, clear second pick, Pericles. The Derby, here we go again. Young horses over a lot of ground. So, look, I've got green spaces on top. If the races run slowly, I don't think it will be though, but I'm more confident. I think it still can win in a fast run race, but it's just you never know until they're put under that pressure over that ground. I'm with green spaces, just at a real high rating at Newcastle, and I think he's coming to form the right time. Um, and I think he'll sit closer off Observer. Hopefully, he's not too far from Observer, and they'll give him a chance. If Observer has his own way in front, I know they're going to go to the front with Observer and try to run a decent time up front. So if Green Spaces gets Observer out of his sight, Observer will be the winner. So we've got Green Spaces on top with a couple of caveats from Observer. I think it could be run quite firmly. I'm hearing this designation might go right to the front and put on a fair bit of pace. If that happens, it could bring some of the stayers in, like Storm Leopard, definitely one step closer. This is way over the odds. Get out his VRC Derby run. This horse is a real stayer. He'll appreciate the extra distance. Last run was good in a slowly run race, so forget that. And I think he's well over the odds, one step closer, and will enjoy the fast pace. I really like Federalist. He's going really well this prep. Another one that's been gelded. Victoria's Spirit, you can't leave out totally as well. So those horses, Green Spaces on top from Observer. One step closer, I've tipped for third, then Federalist, then Storm Leopard, and I would give Victoria's Spirit some sort of chance. But again, the way the race was run can change everything. Okay, we'll quickly wrap this up. I'm with, again, horses with scope on the way up. The last, I'm with Nepo Baby, drawn beautifully. I think he'll enjoy the pace on. There will be good pace on. From this other, horse, Cantiamo, was very impressed with that win last start. Again, drawn beautifully. Jay Collett, hard to beat. Horseshoe Hills, my third pick, and I thought those three were all good value. I'm not sold on Inkaruna. We'll see how it goes with that pace on. But I thought the other three were good value, and I was with those. Hey guys, as you can see, there's plenty of value. Hopefully the outsiders that win are the outsiders that we've identified for you, because I'm telling you, there will be outsiders and good price winners. There's plenty of value. Good luck. Bet responsibly. Like I said, on days like this, you don't have to bet up too much. You can bake She's Alibi, that's for sure. But again, they're only horses, and no, there are no sure things. And with these type of race at open rate, you don't have to put big money to win big at those prices. So gamble responsibly. Remember, it's for the entertainment and enjoyment, and make sure you're still in a good mood by the end of the day, and you can say, wow, that's great racing, even though you won or lost. Okay, guys, take care. All the best. Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call 1800 858 858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.